is too high, so I don't know my flip-flops here. But as Kim mentioned, we do have some significant changes to Musical Explorers this year in the form of just one semester and one week of concerts. But that aside, we really are doing everything we can to make that, to make the most of that change. So I think hopefully what you'll see in this PD and when we share the curriculum with you is actually more resources, more opportunities to go beyond the curriculum, but also in the curriculum itself. Like for instance, we have videos that have all the lyrics of the songs that you can play for kids to follow along. So lots of things like that. So I hope, Damon, you're welcome. They're really, really great too. They're super entertaining, actually. So please, if there's something that you you think of, like Becca Flaherty did these great videos that she created for her class, and then we shared those with other people. If you're doing something like that, or you have an idea, please share that with us, because we really do. It's so important to us that we not lose what is really special about the program and the quality of the program. And we made this decision to go to one semester so that we didn't have to like cut the program with little nicks and cuts here, over there, here and there. Do you know what I mean? Like we didn't want to just like water it down. We want to do really great, but just once. Also, you have longer to teach it now, so. I don't know. We'll see what happens. But let us know. That's why we do the evaluation piece of it. Okay. One of those things is in the not watering down category is Shanna Left from New York City. Oh, there she is. Oh my gosh, look at her face. And she's back there too. Oh my God! What the fuck? Right. And there's another. We have power blazers all over the place. Shanna's not wearing a blazer. She's wearing her custom cardigan, but she's here and she's coming, and we're so happy to have her here for 24 hours. And here's Shanna, and she's going to take us through the curriculum.
Hi, everyone.
This is.
It is on.
Hi. This is new, right? Like up on the stage. This feels very formal, but hopefully we all know that this is going to be fun and engaging and informal. So please, as there are questions, notice that we are being taped for teachers who couldn't be here today. So you'll ask a question and then awkwardly I will repeat what you said, hopefully in the way you said it so we can hear it for the camera. But if you do have questions, we will open that up at certain times in the PD. But if there are times when you have something you want to say or you need clarification, please raise your hand again. It's pretty informal. We will be singing and dancing, and we have all of our artists here today, so that's really exciting. Before we bring out our artists, though, this is the first time that I've come before school has started. So are we still feeling like this, or we're like starting to like ramp up back into school mode? Are we still in summer mode? A little bit, right? So did you all have PD this morning as well? Okay, and then do you have it the rest of the week too? Almost. Okay, so I feel like it's like that Billy Madison, like back to school, right? I'm dating myself for Billy Madison right now, but yeah, so like in New York, we're still like very much in summer, like we're halfway through. So I hope you have some of that relaxing energy still with you today. Let's just think of, all together, I'll say 1, 2, 3, and I'll give you a second to think about it, like how your summer has gone. Just like one word, and we'll just shout it out all together. And I'll give you like 10 seconds to think of that word. And then you'll shout it out. 1, 2, 3. Hot, I heard fun, I heard tan. Did I miss anyone that anyone wants to shout out?
Busy.
Busy, like busy, good busy, or busy like, still busy? Oh, busy. I'm sorry about that. Good busy. Oh, good busy. Okay. Well, now that, how many of you are brand new to Musical Explorers? Hi. welcome. I hope by the end of this PD that you will feel like you know what's going on, because that's part of my job too, is to make sure that you understand how the curriculum works. And we'll get to that in just a minute. But you have lots of veteran returning teachers here in the room with you all, which is a really great resource for you to have. So when you think of Musical Explorers, if you are a veteran, or if you are new, just even thinking about those words, musical and explorers, we're going to do another like one word or one short phrase association. And have you all ever used Slido before? Great, cool. So this is a Slido on what's one word to describe Musical Explorers. So if you can take out if you have a device available, you can click that QR code, and it's going to generate a word cloud for us. And just see kind of what we're feeling the words around this program, Musical Explorers. Let's see what comes up. And then Justice, I think you've got the control of it back there. You can see it happening. Yeah, wait until everyone has that. Is it working? Oh, love that. I still see people like look at it like, okay, some people putting devices away. Oh, here it comes. Chaos. I love that. I want to talk about that one in a minute. Joyful, fun, interactive. I see joy again. Inclusive. Aw, awesome. Baddylicious? Can somebody elaborate on Baddylicious? You don't have to like call yourself out, but that's fun. I've never heard Musical Explorers describe
That's our
it.
favorite new adjective from music camp this summer.
Baddylicious.
We were introduced to that term this summer.
Is that a kid word? Do I need to know about it?
Yes.
It's good, right?
Yes. Like if
'Cause-
you're a baddie, you're really good.
Okay. And like the etymology, like licious is like
Delicious.
delicious. Okay, good, got it. Chaos. I would agree that sometimes Musical Explorers can feel like chaos, right? Like we are singing, we're dancing, we're moving. I've been to the concerts in New York. It's a lot, right? It's like sensory overload sometimes, right? But chaos, to me, chaos is a positive thing. I think sometimes that chaos, when there's chaos in the classroom, it means that really exciting things are happening. There's a lot of good nuggets in there. Say it again?
Depends on the context.
Depends on the context. I absolutely agree with that.
Right.
Great. Well, this is a great list, and I hope that we feel some of this today, and you feel some of this going through your program this year. So nuts and bolts of this program, especially for my newcomers, you're going to have 3 musical traditions that are going to be explored this year. Each artist is considered a unit. Within that unit, there are 2 lessons. Within those lessons, there is 1 piece of repertoire that the artists have decided that shows their tradition and who they are well. And each of those lessons have activities to go along with that song and with the artists themselves. Each artist has a teacher guide page. That's for you, geared towards adults. A little bit more in depth about where in the world the music comes from and the historical context. There's a literacy link in each unit, so there's a book that goes along. Sometimes there's 2 books that you can read in your classroom. I have mostly music teachers here today. I love that, so great. So, how you want to share that with your classroom teachers. If they want to use the book, if you want to use the book, if you both want to use the book, there's a lot of different ways to break that up. Vocabulary words are bolded if you want to have like word walls in your classroom. They're often musical terms, but sometimes other. And standards, if you need that for your administration. Pathways, how to approach this curriculum. You can do it in any order that you feel fits your curriculum and your classroom best. You do not have to go by the order that's prescribed in the curriculum. If you want to take the songs out of order, if you don't want to teach one artist at a time, you kind of want to introduce them all and then bring them back around, that's up to you. Use it as it fits your curriculum best. But we do ask that for the students to feel like they really are part of the concert, that they are familiar with each of the songs, each 6 songs, and that they are able to sing along to parts of them, and there's often movement that comes along with each song, and have them know those movements, so then they feel like when they come to the concert, they can participate by singing, dancing, and being able to like be more richly surrounded by the music instead of just hearing it for the first time. There's also musical explorer activities, like listening walks are in there, or finding sounds in their community. And then there is the musical explorer theme song! There's a theme song! Which, you know, just from watching your kids, you know, I'm just thinking my daughter right now is super into Kif. Do you guys know that show, Kif? No. It's a cartoon on Disney. That's a side note. But like, it's a great cartoon, but we love the theme song. So the stories always change, but the theme song is always the same. So we know when I hear the theme song, I know what's coming. So that's kind of the idea behind the Musical Explorer song too, that when you play it and sing it for your students, they know what to expect. So we're gonna sing through it now, and I know we have some new friends. Would anyone like to come up here and sing it with me? Come on up! Did I say? Do you want to come learn with us here? Yeah, come Babylicious team. Yeah, come on up. And we have a musical explorer, I think, right here.
Okay, we'll teach it.
We'll teach it to you right now. Hi, everyone. Hi. So if you want to use this mic, is that okay for everyone? Okay, great. So let's just, before we sing through it all together, let's just review the hand signs and the chorus, especially for our new friends. So the first one is I can sing it, and you rock your hands back and forth like this. And I think it's like ingrained in my musical memory. I think it's, I can sing it. I can sing it. Amazing. The next one's I can say it. 2 little circles around the corner of your mouth. I can say it. I can say it. And then we have I can dance it, which is 2 like legs dancing over your hand. I can dance it. I can dance it. And the last one is I can play it. It's a figure 8 over your forearm. I can play it. I can play it. I think we can put it all together. We can sing the whole thing. Yeah, let's sing the whole thing. Yeah. Every song tells a story. Every tune tells a tale. Every rhythm has a reason. Don't you want to know? Don't you want to know what makes the music go? Come along and see, make your story. I can sing it. To be Bad-Englicious? Great, so I saw some teachers doing some different moves. Again, let your students kind of choreograph the other phrases and things as you go along. Have fun with it, make it your own class song. I've heard some teachers do it in a different tradition. I think we've talked about that here in the past. I know in New York we had a teacher do a full Spanish translation as well, so it's really like what serves you and again your classroom as well. Before we move on to our first artist, any questions or anything that we want to share about Musical Explorers in general, like using like the general warm-ups or the theme song? Okay. What do you think, Justice? Are we ready to bring on our first artist? Then we're going to have opera with Timothy. Look at that. That's amazing. So thank you, Julia. It's dramatic, as it should be. So Timothy was with us, we were trying to figure this out, 3 years ago, maybe?
I think so.
Yeah.
That's right.
3 years ago. So some of you might remember this curriculum and Timothy, but we're going to review it again and hear what's been up in the last 3 years.
Yeah.
So just remind us all and tell us about yourself.
So I am originally from Augusta, Georgia, but I currently live in Atlanta with my family, where I am a professor of voice at Morehouse College, my alma mater, and I am a classically trained opera singer. How that happened, I have no idea. It is just, and I say classically trained opera singer, but it's more the style of singing, and it's something that I just kind of found while studying the art of voice, and it's something that kind of found me, I guess, if you will. So it's been a fun ride so far. Not only doing opera and stage work, but also other types of things, other fun things, like sporting events.
Like this big picture that says Timothy performing at Atlanta's Braves game.
So I also sing for the Atlanta Braves, the 7th inning stretch, the God Bless America, and I've been doing that for 15 years. Yeah. We were talking backstage, and I mentioned that my daughter is just graduating from high school, and I'm getting old officially, and will be a freshman at Spelman in the fall. So we're very excited, but we are knee deep in it. So y'all pray for me.
So something that you just brought up is like you said, opera singing is a way of using your voice.
Absolutely, and it's a way of using your entire body to produce the sound, because we don't typically use amplification. We have to use our bodies and our God-given bones to amplify the sound out into the audience. So it is a very technical way of singing that involves almost every system in our body.
So like our students, they're little, right? Like kindergarten to 2nd grade. So I think something to really think about when we're presenting this tradition is that their voices are their voices on that day, right? They're little, they're not gonna sound like Timothy. So this idea in the first lesson is really like ways to use your voice and ways to take care of your body and your voice in a really healthy way, which I think goes along really nicely with early childhood or elementary school education, right? It's like, how do we take care of our bodies? How do we keep our bodies safe? How do we keep our voices safe? So I think, Timothy, what are the ways that you keep your body safe and maybe you would offer to younger singers?
So I think we'll start with what you just introduced, is that it's very important to use the voice that you have and not something that you will have 40 years down the road. right? And so not try and sound like a 40-year-old, but sound like the age that you are, right? Because the voice is like a flower. It blooms at its own time. And if we rush it, then that bloom is not going to be as beautiful for as long. And so two of the things that I certainly preach to my students in terms of taking care of your voice is rest and water. The two things that we can't cheat on, but the two things that we probably we do cheat on all the time.
I'm like, pause, I'm like, that just sounds
Yeah,
like good
yeah,
human
yeah, I know.
behavior, right? Like, do we all get enough rest and water? I don't mean, I will only speak to myself. The answer is no.
Listen, I'm talking to myself as well. So rest and water. If you like me and you're in the South and you struggle with allergies, you know, so I have my whole routine. I'll do the apple cider vinegar. I'll do the vitamin C, anything I can to help to dry it up. But you know, rest, water. If the body is warmed up, then the voice is warmed up typically, because the voice is not like a trombone. We don't pull it out of the case. It's, you know, so if we're warm, then our voice is closer to being warmed up as well.
Okay, we'll get to that in just a minute. The other thing, I know in music curriculum for like kindergarten and first grade is just even exploring, being a musical explorer about ways that we use our voice. So the ways that we have for your students to explore are the whisper, right? Speaking, singing, and calling. So calling, you know, is a really nice way of saying, like if you ask your students, like, how can we use our voice? They might come up with some of these. What else might they say? Yelling, right? Or shouting, which is, yes, if there is a bear chasing you, like, I bet you're screaming, right? The screaming, again, goes against being healthy with your voice. So that call, the way I like to do that with my students, well, I live in New York, so I'm also like, how do you get a taxi, right? But if your friend is gonna step off the curb and you're worried that they're gonna get hurt, you might say, hey, right? Because somebody you haven't seen in a while, hey, right? Which is different. That doesn't hurt your voice. A scream would. So like it's a nice way to just that call out to your friend. So the difference between screaming and calling. And the activity that we have to go along with this is where we can use these types of the ways that we use your voice. But there's also we ask them to try out like, hi, my name is, in different ways that they use their voice. So I think it's really great, like this would be a really great introductory lesson even when your students are introducing themselves to each other. But just do it in this way of using your voice.
And even if you want to do, like, introduce like the diaphragm, you can do like imitating a baby cry.
What's a diaphragm?
Diaphragm is that muscle that separates respiratory from digestive. It's an involuntary, so it's not like a bicep or a tricep, but it is essential in singing. Right? It's what helps us to control the rate at which the breath leaves the body, because we sing on the pressurized voice. Right? So it's the sensation you have when you're blowing up a balloon. Right? In order to get that air over the hump for the balloon to blow up, you have to put some pressure behind it.
Can we all try that?
And you feel that right underneath the rib cage. That's your diaphragm, right? And so that's babies. When we're our babies, we say, well, babies never lose their voices. They cry for hours and hours. They never lose their voices. Well, they're naturally diaphragmatic beings. As we get older, we lose some of that. So we have to remind ourselves things like laughing, like blowing up the balloon. All those things activate the diaphragm.
Great, so that's kind of get us into this idea of warming up our voice. So once we've explored just like even how to use our voice, let's like warm up our voice. So do any of you have favorite warm-ups? Like I'm in a room with like music experts. Do we have any favorite warm-ups? Yeah.
I like to do bread and butter with my kids. It goes through all the voices, and it's just using the voice to say hello.
Can you give us an example? So we're having like bread and butter.
We gotta do that. We're gonna pack that.
We're gonna have that.
We're going to pack that.
Who's that?
There's that.
Bread and butter,
Bread and butter.
jelly and jam,
Jelly have them start thinking about the engagement points of like what they had to do to be quiet versus louder, right? Like using that breath. Nice.
Absolutely, that's great. We also use, because I didn't always teach at college, and so I've used some things like, Mommy made me eat my M&Ms.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody knows that one.
So let's all try that together. So mommy, do you do eat or mash?
Right.
Like I feel from the crowd, we're like, I hear some mash, I feel like, let's go with mash. Mommy made me
Or
mash
munch.
my M and
Yeah.
M.
Munch.
Munch?
Munch. Let's do munch.
I like munch, okay, let's do it. Right.
1, 2, ready, and Mommy made me munch my M&Ms. 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 Yeah, I like that.
And then do you do the changing of the consonants? Like, Tommy, take me, touch my tamas. That's really fun too. Just always do it in your head first when they suggest anything, because you're like, hold on. Okay, we're clear. Because they get very smart, like, you know.
Yep.
Thanks.
That's awesome.
That's really fun.
Or something like, I love music and I love to sing.
We'll do that one more time.
I love music and I love to
Can we
sing.
try it?
I love music and I love to sing. That's a little more expansive, so all the changing voices, maybe, hey, take it easy. First, do no harm. We take like the medical oath. First, do no harm. All right. Only sing as loudly as you can sing beautifully. It's another general rule.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you all have, I'm sure you have like baskets full of these warm-ups that you do with your students. How much you want to dig into, like, obviously, like we were talking, you're all adults, so you know, like the one that we just did with Timothy is talking more about range, right? The mommy maybe mash and then changing the consonants is talking about your articulators, if you want to get into like how you actually make sounds with your lips and your tongue and your teeth and all that kind of fun stuff, right? You all know that, but just this idea that keeping that voice healthy. There are some in the curriculum, they haven't changed, and then there's millions of them, so use each other for those resources.
Yes, and just feel free to do a variety, right? So some legato, some staccato, right? Doobie 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 doo, zinga zinga zing, just anything to activate, right?
And literally warm up the body, right? Like we stretch before we work out, or we, whatever, you do for a run, same thing with the voice.
Same thing.
So let's move into the first piece. This is an aria. Which aria, and what is an aria, and what is this aria?
So an aria is just really the Italian word for song, but structurally an aria is something we associate with an opera. So an aria is the sung, often repetitively sung song of a particular character in an opera, right? And so the first aria we're going to do is La Donna è mobile. La Donna è mobile comes from Verdi's Rigoletto, and it is one of the most famous tenor arias in the repertoire. It is one of those that is a showy aria. It's a show-off kind of an aria, where the Duke of Mantua is talking about, how women are fickle. When it's, I know, I don't shoot the messenger. It is very ironic because he could be very well saying the same thing about himself. He is the most fickle person in the opera, or the most unreliable, let's say. Yeah, he blows with the wind. So he might as well be singing about himself. But it is one of those pieces that comes back. Rigoletto, unfortunately, is a tragic opera. We have all kinds of different types of operas, comic operas, tragic operas, opera buffo, comic opera, opera seria, serious opera, opera Greek tragedies, opera based off of real life characters. And this particular tune La donna è mobile. Everybody knows it. Everybody knows it, right? Even if you don't know what it's from, you've heard it before on a commercial or on something in the elevator, right? You've heard it somewhere. And this is one of the great things in opera is the theme. Wagner called this the leitmotif. Every character has their own theme. And this is the Duke's theme. And the most tragic part of Rigoletto is that after Rigoletto is a hunchback, and he has made an arrangement with an unsavory character to get rid of the Duke. Unfortunately, the unsavory character mistakes Rigoletto's daughter for the Duke, and he gets rid of her instead. Now, the arrangement was that this unsavory guy, Sparafucile, would put the body in a bag, and Rigoletto would come and pick it up and take it out to water to dispose of it. So you can imagine the shock on his face when he's out in the water after he's retrieved the bag, and he hears La donna è mobile from the bank. That's the Duke's theme. Well, who's in this bag? Unfortunately, it's Giulia. It's his daughter. And Rigoletto is a tragedy. But this particular song is one. It's a very lighthearted sounding, jovial piece. Yes.
Yeah, so when we're approaching it with the students, right? Like,
Yes.
you decide where you want to take that with your students. I think narrowing in for this this context is talking about like how this voice, this song fits Timothy's voice in a healthy way, like really kind of digging into that voice health context. But also, you know, like I think it's an interesting conversation to have with the students. Like he's talking about how some people can be fickle. Like even just like, what does that mean? Have you changed your mind before? Like really going into like the aria itself instead of maybe waiting a couple years until they can handle the larger context of the opera. Because that's big stuff for little people.
Yeah. Lots of operas have big stuff, so feel free to adjust as needed. But yes, the quality of the character of the aria is one in which is it's a very showy aria. Part of that showiness is at the end of the aria there is what we call a cadenza. It's a moment in the aria where the singer is allowed to show off his or her virtuoso ability, if you will. So it's modern day, we would call these runs, right? The kids would call them runs, but in our terminology, we call them melismas, meaning it's many notes per syllable. Kind of like everybody. So a melismatic passage. Melismatic versus syllabic. Syllabic is one note per syllable. Melismatic is many notes per syllable.
Well, I think we're ready to do it.
All right.
felice appieno chi su quel seno non mi amore. La donna e mattin, quasi un mal vento, musando certo ari pensier.
So your students will be singing that around, right? They're definitely gonna wanna sing that. Just remind them, like, Timothy is Timothy, like we said before, they're gonna wanna try out that vibrato, right? Like that, the air moving through your vocal cords.
Yes, and I get very technical with my college. What is that? What is vibrato? What is that? The vibrato is actually the freedom of the larynx. You can talk about some anatomy. The larynx, or the voice box. What decides our voice, right? What makes some people have lower voices and some people have higher voices? The size and shape of our vocal cords determines what kind of voice you have. So it's very important that you sing according to what voice you have. Not what you like, but what you are. There are a lot of people who sing what they like and they can only sing for a couple of years and then it's basta, it's no more. So you have to make sure that you sing according to your vocal category. So that's what determines what type of voice we have.
So as your student, again, just about vocal health, exploring the voice. I'm gonna move on to the next piece.
Yes.
The one other thing that we have in this lesson though is this just like what makes up an opera production. So just thinking about like all of the people, it's not just about the singers who are front and center on the stage, like all of the people that make a production come to life. And really highlighting that, I think it goes along nicely as your students are learning about community in the schools too, right? Like it's not just about the classroom, but it's about the people who serve the lunches and the bus helpers and the drivers, right? Like all the people in our community that make a whole, so all the parts of a whole. So the next piece is Nessun Dorma. Timothy, so this is all about how opera, you aren't Timothy when you're singing, like you're not Rigoletto and you're not the Duke or you're
Correct.
not the person, you're
That's correct.
you are the person, you're not Timothy.
That's correct.
So
You're
this
the
idea,
character.
yeah, you're the character, thank you. So this idea as when you're an opera singer, you are taking on a character and you're a storyteller. So tell us about the story that's not so much what's happening in the aria, but in the opera. This one we are going to talk about the opera a little bit.
Sure. So Turandot is one of the operas written by Italian composer Giacomo Puccini, which is probably one of my favorite composers, I must admit. And it's an interesting opera because Puccini died before he could finish it. And so there are some different endings you'll find, and that's not uncommon. There are many major works like that. But it's essentially the story of Prince Kalaf, who is one of many princes who wants to win the favor of Princess Turandot. And she is a tough cookie to win the favor of. I mean, fatally tough. Because if you don't win her favor, then she chops your head off. And in order to win her favor, you have to answer 3 riddles, right? And so there is Kalaf and his father have a maidservant by the name of Liu. And Liu plays an integral role in the story as well because she is the one in the end that knows who Kalaf is. Because Kalaf is essentially able to answer Turandot's riddles. And he wins her hand. But he gives her an out and says, well, if you can figure out who I am, what my name is, then I will concede and you can have my head. And so that's when she kind of sends out the urgent call saying, everybody, round up everybody who knows this man and figure out who he is. And Liu, she refuses to give up Khalaf's name even after she is tortured. And so that causes the princess to say then, well, now I know what true love looks like.
So, what we have for you in the curriculum is you'll see, like, as for my new teachers too, you'll see like these bullet points, like that's kind of like what's happening in the lesson, and then in the italics in the blue is like things that you could say to your students. So we have like a much friendlier, like kid-friendly, like he answers the 3 riddles, and that's basically it. So
they can come up with their own riddles, just like they can come up with their own vocal warm-ups. Hey, give me 3 riddles.
and that's actually in the curriculum too, is there's a point where your students can create their own riddles. But the way that this song is going to work is we're offering that students will listen to the recording and then kind of predict what's happening. So really digging into musically, like what is the happening in the music that gives you clues as to what this story is. So we're gonna do that now. So I'm gonna have Timothy sing the aria, and I want you to listen for like musical clues as to like what the feeling of this song is, or like what might be going through Khalaf's brain at this moment.
Nessun dorma, nessun dorma. Tu pure, principessa, nella tua fredda stanza, guardi le stelle che tremano d'amore e di speranza. Ma il mio mistero è chiuso in me. Il nome mio nessun saprà, no, no, sulla tua vetta dirò, quando la luce splenderà. Per il mio bacio scioglierò il silenzio che ti fa mia.
So what do we think he's thinking in this? Like what's happening in the music, or like what's the feeling? You can just shout it out. Sad. I'm seeing,
He's confident.
yes.
Very confident.
I saw I saw emotion like this, and then I hear confidence. So like what is it that Timothy is doing that made you feel like and confident? Like, what is it? There's no wrong answer, right? Because it's like what you're thinking or what you're hearing in the music.
I'll admit I know this because I performed this before.
Ah,
So,
Yeah, but like what performance choices did you make?
when I performed it, I was showing a lot more, a lot of my facial expressions got more, almost determined.
Okay, yeah.
Whereas I was more reminiscent, I was more pensive at the beginning, and then as I go, I'm getting more confident, I'm getting more active, and getting almost stern looking towards the end as well, in some degree.
Yeah, so I'm curious, so your kids are, like we're talking about characters and storytelling, right? Like we use our faces, right? So you're like gonna make different faces. And as you're talking, you were doing this, like pensive, when we're thinking, sometimes we do this, right? Or I saw you do this for strong. I heard someone else say sad. What was happening in the music that made it feel kind of maybe melancholy or sad? The tone of the voice, right? Like it'd be much more different. I mean, Timothy, can you just like maybe like pick the ending and do the opposite of what sad would be? Like how would you turn it on its head and make it sound happy?
Oh, so sure, sad.
Do happy.
Getting
let's see. Yeah, so we could play around with how to make different emotions.
Yeah.
Right? And so even if you did, the face would have to match what you're saying. So
You even quivered your lip. That was amazing.
oh, absolutely. There's this, we had a lot of things, in the tenor cry, if you will. There's a kind of like the aria from Pagliacci. That kind of cracking of the voices. Listen, it's very operatic and very,
So what I'm asking Timothy to do and what I'm asking you to like start thinking about is this activity that we have for your students where there's different scenarios that your students can play around with this aria and really just taking that Vincero, Vincero, like that simple little, well it's not simple, but the little phrases at the end and how you could, you're confident that you will win, which is pretty much where Caliph is, right? Like at the end of this aria. So good on you, our audience got that. But what if you don't care? Like, how would you show us that you don't care if you win?
Vincero.
So again, like using body, face, right? And when I said like make it happy, like I was thinking like Vincero, Vincero. Like just totally like bopping around, like I'm gonna win, right? Like you could be like super bratty like that, because that's what you're saying at the end, right? Like
that's right.
I got her, I got the princess, right? That's what you're saying at the end.
Absolutely.
So as much as you want to dig into either the acting of it or with your body, or really digging into musical elements, I think too what you, and not to put words, I'm sorry if I do, but like you were saying, like the way the voice is being used, that legato or smoothness, instead of having it be very short and staccato, makes a totally different feel, or the way, the volume that you
Dynamics,
choose.
absolutely. Dynamics plays a big part. So
Yeah, so just like kind of opening up the box to your students of like how a character becomes a character, right? And I think they do that all the time. You're just like kind of putting a spotlight on what they're doing to create those characters and lean it towards this opera character.
absolutely.
And like we mentioned before, there is a create your own riddle activity because that's Turndot's thing. She has these riddles. So I know my daughter loves to tell me jokes every day. Mommy, I have a joke. So I'm sure your students do too. For those of you who have done this unit before, or anything you want to add that worked really well, or questions for myself or Timothy? Yes.
So last time we did it, I added a lot of opera. Like specifically with the La Donna and Lolita, we added some actions because, like I said, it's not all of it is the most stable single things. So in that chorus part, we did La Donna and Lolita.
that's amazing. So I'm just repeating it for the video too. So what I said, you were also like showing the staccato and the rate, like how high or how low the voice was going. Nice.
That's good. That's good. And you can also go, even if you have the words, you can go through and have them circle all of the double consonants, because in Italian, the double consonants we emphasize. So la donna è mobile, right? Much like pizza or spaghetti. Wherever there's two consecutive consonants, we emphasize those. So you can feel free to have those be staccato, and then where you don't see double consonants is legato.
Yes.
I remember last time doing this, the kids really loved the freeze dance activity, so I took Carmina Burana, I think, or one of those operas, and just made a video where they can freeze and they can dance, and then they can freeze. And then I also took, is it Mio Babino? Is that Puccini?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Puccini.
So I took the melody from that. A lot of kids could identify with watching Luca, because that was the song that was playing on regular fall. I took the melody and instead of me singing hitting the high notes, brought it down an octave and rewrote some lyrics for that. But I may post that
Awesome.
on YouTube. But if y'all want your kids to be able to sing a song or a popular opera piece, I'll post the lyrics. And it's called I Want a Bowl of Ice Cream.
Awesome. Another one is the tenor's final aria in Tosca, E lucevano le stelle, is in Happy Feet. Happy Feet, is it 2? Happy Feet 2, thank you. So Happy Feet 2 has another aria in it, just FYI. I have no idea what the words are, but it's not the original word. It's
No, they changed it. It threw me off when I watched it.
okay. Yeah, so they changed the lyrics. So that just if you want another kind of point of reference, there's always the Bugs Bunny, so that's always fun.
I saw another hand. Yeah.
So you had mentioned the Bugs Bunny, so that was what I had used.
Yeah.
But I had went over the different, I think in the unit there's something about the different parts of the opera and who's involved. So I went over that with the students, and then I pulled up Bugs Bunny and I had the kids point out, where's the audience, where's the things like that, and all the where's production and stuff like that, and they really enjoyed it in that way.
That's a great idea.
Good. Even if you have kids that don't like to sing, they can be a supernumerary.
What's that?
That's a non-singing role in the opera. So that's the second guard on the left that escorts Cavaradossi up to the castle, or the priest who comes in to wash the floor before, So it's a non-singing role, but it's essential in the portrayal of the drama. Sometimes Magic Flute is done with puppets, so those are also considered supernumeraries. They're essentially dressed in all black tights and they go around waving birds around. So, but they're non-singing roles that also play a role in the drama.
And I saw one last hand, and then we're gonna have to wrap up. Timothy, yes.
Yes, very important. There's an episode of Arthur where Monkey goes to the opera and they take some of the songs from Carmen and change the lyrics. So like she works at the bubblegum factory. And it's really, really funny, especially if you know the opera, but it's like 15 minutes, so that's a cute one that you kind of like see a bit of the opera.
What was this in?
Arthur.
Oh, Arthur. Okay. Awesome.
So I'm hearing, like, you all, again, you're like a wealth of knowledge, so which is, I think, the most, you're all resources to each other. So Justice, is there somewhere that teachers can put this stuff so they can share it with each other throughout the year?
Send it to us and we'll spread it out.
Yeah, send these ideas I know everyone is super busy, but these are all such wonderful ideas and resources. So if you could share a little blurb and then a link to Savannah Music Festival, your colleagues would be appreciative, I'm sure. So bravo to Timothy.
Grazie.
So we have, this is one of our literacy links for this unit, Bravo Brava. It's also also getting into like all the different parts like of the opera. That's not a very great block, but it shows you all the different pieces. And then we have when Marion sang as well. Moving on, we have a new artist and a new musical tradition. We have Korean songs with Elena, so please put your hands together. You get set up. Hello. Hi, everyone. Thanks so much for having yourself. Happy you're here. Hello. Hi. So just tell us about yourself. Where you're from, what you do.
Sure. So hi everybody, my name is Elena Moon Park, and I was actually born and raised in a very small town in East Tennessee, not so far away from here, called Oak Ridge. My parents immigrated to this country from Korea, but I was born and raised in Tennessee, and it was a town that didn't have a huge Asian American population, to say the least. So I was pretty Americanized, pretty Southernized growing up, but I grew up playing classical violin. And I played classical violin all the way until the time I went to college, where I kind of decided I wanted to stop doing that for a while. I wanted to branch out, try other things, but I missed music, and when I came back to it again, I discovered a really interesting world of music, which was like an all ages family music, children's music world. And I have to say, when I started doing that, I found my way into that world when I moved to New York City. When I started playing that kind of music, it was by far the most fun and joyous and inclusive and welcoming way of experiencing music that I'd ever had. So I kind of jumped into playing family music and picked up a lot of different instruments in doing so. And it also led me to something really interesting, which was exploring my cultural heritage through exploring folk music and children's music. And I started learning and reinterpreting and reimagining songs from not only Korea, but all over East and Southeast Asia, just talking to friends of mine, learning about the songs that like linger in their memory, things that are kind of timeless and ageless, which I think a lot of music for children and a lot of folk music is. So yeah, so I still play the violin, but I also, along the journey, learned a lot of other folk instruments and a lot of folk music, and dove into Korean music and other music from East and Southeast Asia in that process.
So, Elena, the songs that we chose today, like you said, are folk songs, folk songs. But you reimagine them, you said. So you're gonna sing sometimes in Korean and sometimes in English.
Yeah, and I think one thing that's really great for people to talk about and know about folk music is that it has been reimagined over the years. As time moves on, folk music, you learn kind of the history of it, and then you can make it your own. And my own music, you know, I wouldn't call it Korean traditional music at all. I would call it the story of myself, which is a story of immigration, of migration, of like confluence of influences from my East Tennessee upbringing to my Korean parents, and then moving to Chicago and then to New York. All of these things influence the sound of the music itself. And I think that's an interesting conversation to have, that, you know, it's not ever like one thing. It's many different influences. Like I often with older students make a version of a diaspora map, kind of an idea of like, okay, I come from a lot of different influences and a lot of different cultures and traditions, and I think that's what, I think that's what represents like the tradition of the music I do the best, is this like mixing and mingling of things. And yeah, so the songs that I sing are in multiple languages because of that. Do you want to talk about this one?
Yeah, just a sec. I think just like I want to mention that in crafting this unit with Elena, it really, the word inspiration or like influence kept coming up. So you'll see that the activities that we have throughout are asking your students to think about where they find inspiration for them to share just like pieces of themselves, you know, like what other languages do they sing, what children's songs, because this first one, and we'll get into it just a moment, is a song that it's like a very popular children's song. So like, what are songs that your family sings to you as a that you still remember, and like sharing that in the classroom? So like ways you could share about yourself, but also things that give us ideas and inspiration and make up kind of who we are, who they are.
Yeah, I think it's an interesting question I ask a lot of elder people too. Like, what is your first musical memory? What is the first song you learned that really lingers in your mind? And that's where a lot of this music, especially the children's music world, comes from. And I'll say about this song called San Toki. Has anybody ever heard of this song before? All right, I will guarantee if you know a Korean person, and you ask them if they know this song, they probably do. It's absolutely one of the most famous Korean songs. And this is the answer to that question for me. This is the first song I ever learned in my life. And one thing I love about music that's specifically for children is its accessibility, and especially learning another language through music, which you probably are all familiar with. But these are two very, very simple words. So the first word is san. Can you say san? San. 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 That's cool. And then toki. Toki. Two very simple words. San just means mountain. Toki just means rabbit. And what I love about this song is that it is extremely simple. The entire song is just about a mountain rabbit, and it's bouncing around the hillside, and everybody's wondering where it's going. And then the second half of the song, you find out that the bunny, the mountain rabbit, is just going into the mountains to collect chestnuts. And that's the entirety of the song. And you know, that makes up a brilliant song. It doesn't have to be more complicated than that to be really catchy and really beautiful. And I think one thing that could be fun is like, if any of your students know another language, have a favorite word in that language. You know, like one of my favorite words, I've been learning Spanish for a long time. So like the word alegría, it's a really fun word to make a song. My friend Sonia made a song with that word, just from one word you can make a melody, just alegría, alegría. Just the idea of one word and turning it into a very, very simple song and melody to learn a language is, I think, really special.
Can you sing a little bit of San Toki? Am I saying that right?
San
San
Toki.
Toki. San Toki.
Yes, all right.
Okay, get it in our ear, and then we'll try to sing.
And I mean, I know it's like a kind of mix of things for me as an artist, but going still on that thread of many, many different influences that make up my reimagination of music. This instrument is neither from the Southeast or from Korea. It's a completely different cultural tradition, but it's what I play because it's some of my influences in New York. Does anybody know what this is called? Nobody? Okay. This is called a jarana, and can you guess where it's from? I'll play a little how it's supposed to be played. Any guesses? What cultural tradition it's from?
Philippines or Mexico.
Mexico, yes. This is a Mexican traditional instrument. So, you know, it's a bit of a mixture, but, you know, when we do play here, I will probably be playing this instrument, and then I'll also have a Korean traditional instrumentalist with me, so that mixing and matching of instruments might be interesting. So, I'll sing the song, and then we'll learn it together. I'll just sing the chorus. I'm not an opera singer. One other thing about it, it's really intimidating to sing after an opera singer, not to say that. But again, one thing I love about folk and children's music is that it is music for the people, and you do not have to be a trained singer to sing it, and I'm not a trained singer. So it goes like this. 산 토끼 토끼야 어디를 가느냐 깡충깡충 뛰면서 어디를 가느냐 토끼 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 토끼야 토끼 토끼 토끼야. Okay, that's just the chorus. I'm gonna teach you, should I teach now? Yeah, okay. So, again, this is like probably the most, oh, they're coming up. I have some, okay, great, I have some help. We have some wonderful helpers here. Give it up. Okay, so san toki toki, we have some hand motions. How are y'all feeling? Do you feel like you need to stretch? Oh, take a stretch. And if you want to stand up for this, you can.
Yeah, let's stand up.
It's a very simple thing. Okay. So, we have to turn ourselves into rabbits first. Let's turn ourselves into rabbits. However you want to turn yourself into a rabbit. You can have like long ears, short ears.
I'm like, it's so interesting, like what people even see as a rabbit,
Yeah,
right?
it's a
Like
rabbit.
which
What
horses
is
do
a
we
rabbit
like?
to you? It can be, yeah, it doesn't have to be ears. Okay, so the first line is San Toki Toki, which is mountain rabbit rabbit. So let's do our mountain rabbit dance. So San Toki Toki, yeah.
Can we just slow it down a little bit so we can
Yes.
also get the Korean too?
Yeah, let's try and say it all together. So we'll do the dance, I'll say it, and then you repeat after, okay? I'll go first. San Toki Toki, yeah.
San toki toki ya.
Beautiful. Okay, so the next line is 어디를 가느냐. So let's just do 어디를 가느냐.
Would it be more helpful to have the music or to have just the lyrics? Can we just get without the movements, what you had on before? I think it's better.
We'll practice one more time. Oh.
There's one. Yes.
We'll talk about this in a second, but Korean is in a different script, so this is transliteration, so maybe a little bit hard to read. So first line, San Toki Toki, yeah, we did this, yes. Okay, the next line again. 어디를 가느냐. That means, where are you going? So 어디를 is where, 가느냐 is going. So let's look out and say, 어디를 가느냐, your turn. Okay, that's great. Let's do the first two together. So rabbits. San, I'll do it first, then you repeat. San toki toki야.
San toki toki ya.
어디를 가느냐. That's great. Okay, you look great. The next line is really fun. It's 깡추 뛰면서. So let's say together. 깡추. 뛰면서. Beautiful. Okay, put it all together. You want to do it with the motion? Okay. 깡추 뛰면서 means bouncing while you run. So we're going to bounce and bounce while we run. 깡추 뛰면서. 깡추 뛰면서. Great. The last line is the same as the second line, which is 어디를 가느냐 again. But this time let's just walk. 어디를 가느냐. I think you got it. Let's put the whole thing together. I'll do it once with you, and then I'll sing it and see if you can do the motions and the dance. So we're rabbits. Okay, ready? 3, 4. 산 토끼 토끼야 어디를 가느냐. 깡추 뛰면서 어디를 가느냐. Yeah? We got it? All right, we got it. I'm going to play it once, and the next part of the chorus says toki, 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 which is just rabbit over and over again. So So that's when you show off your rabbit dances.
Your bad.
Oh, we got them all. Yes. Okay. So remember it though. Okay. So, all right. Let's get our rabbits ready. Okay. Ready? Here we go. 산 토끼 토끼야 어디를 가느냐 깜찍깜찍 뛰면서 어디를 가느냐 라타 토끼 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 토끼야 토끼 토끼 토끼야. Let's do it one more time. Ready? 산 토끼 토끼야 어디를 가느냐 깜찍깜찍 뛰면서 어디를 가느냐. All right. So that's our dancers here. Thank you for joining in that.
Thanks, everyone. You can have a seat. So just so you know, there's a recording of that, so the student, you can learn the melody along with the students in the classroom as well, so they can sing along as they're dancing and bounding around the room like bunnies. Yeah, it'd be really fun too. I'd like to do like a chestnut game too, right? Like they could be bouncing around looking for the chestnuts and all things.
Yeah, and the second part of the course which we didn't learn is 산 고개를 나 한자 넘어서 토슈 알밤을 주워서 올 때야, which all just means I'm going to find some chestnuts. Over the mountain I go to search for some chestnuts. So yeah, you can, if you're ambitious, can try to learn both of these versions of the song, and then in the song itself have an English translation that is different than the melody. I like when I translate songs to change up the melody a little bit, so we're storytelling a little bit and then going back into the chorus. But yeah, again, like one of the most famous songs you'll ever hear in Korea, and it's an interesting conversation. What are the most well-known songs in the traditions, in the backgrounds of the students that you teach? What makes a song last like that? What makes it, like really persevere as being such a ubiquitous song? And I do think the simplicity and the simple like words and language that you can latch onto is part of that for this one.
Yeah, and I just want to point out too, it's playing behind you, Elena, as you're speaking, but part of that interactive nature that Jenny was talking about, there's more videos of the artists also helping, like providing teaching videos. So this is an example of one of those. Also for like, again, it's such a simple song, if you're teaching your students solfege, like this is a great one to like break out the solfege for your students. Nice and simple with that. Before we leave this piece, I want to also talk about Hangul. Can you explain that to us?
Yeah, does anybody know anything about the Hangul language? And I don't know if you explore other languages in classrooms. I think this one is kind of nice. So this is the Korean written language. And it's nice because it's like an alphabet. So there are 24 like quote unquote letters. They're not characters like you would find in Chinese script. And there are 14 consonants, I believe, and 10 vowels. And a fun fact is that the vowels are kind of shaped. The vowels are aya, oya, uyu, i. Those are all the 10 vowels, all in a row. And the vowels are kind of shaped in the shape of the mouth in a way when you're saying the word. I wish I had a pointer. But I'm gonna point to something real quick. Oh, Justice message. Oh, okay, can you go to that first? Yeah, the one that looks like a line and just the line and the small shelf coming out of it. You see that? Just that one thing. That is a vowel, and that is vowel ah. And I guess you could kind of see how that is like an ah. It's like shaped like an ah going out. The is basically that like smaller line, horizontal line coming in instead of out. So you can kind of think of how that fits with the shape of your mouth, like ah, and then ah, so this is the Hangul language. It was developed in the 15th century, actually, so it's not super, super old. The letters, you can learn how to write some of the letters. So Santoki is the first 3 groupings you see on the top left there. And there are some instructions of like how you write the letters out and what they sound like. So basically it says S, A, N, T, O, Ki. Those are the first couple of letters. So it's actually kind of it's a accessible other script and language to learn if you're looking at one word. Each letter of the word has like a sound that we can learn to make.
And then the last part of this lesson is this idea of inspiration again. So if you look at Elena's album artwork, can you tell us a little bit about your artist?
Sure.
This choice making.
Yeah, I think a big theme also in a lot of the family music that I make is about collaboration, and visual art collaboration is a huge part of that. So I work with an artist named Christiana Parn, and I actually ended up writing a lot of songs based on her artwork and inspired by the scenes that I see in her artwork. So you can see her versions of Little Bunnies here. It'd be fun for people, for kids, for students to imagine their own drawings, renderings of the bunnies that they hear in the songs. Another thing that I think is really great to do is to have free drawing to while listening to a song. Maybe even the second song that we're going to talk about, Toraji, which is a lot more atmospheric of a song, picturing like a scene that you see and drawing. So the collaboration between the music and the visual is a big part of the music that I do, and there's so many fun ways to explore that kind of relationship, I think.
Yeah, so that's a really nice segue into Toraji. So tell us about this song.
So this, unlike Santoki, is a Korean folk song. So it's an old Korean traditional song, not written or meant for kids originally. And a lot of Korean folk music is influenced by nature and the environment. And this song is about a mountain root vegetable called a toraji. Can you all try to say toraji? Toraji. So you see doraji written there. It's a little bit softer of a D. It's like toraji. Yeah, that's great. This is a beautiful, beautiful song, and I think there's a connection to be made. I grew up in the Appalachian Mountains in East Tennessee. There are a lot of similar mountains in Korea, and I think it influences the types of songs that are sung that are inspired by the environment. So inspired by mountains, rolling hills, and this one is a really great example of that. So I think we have a little compare and contrast here of mountains near where I grew up, mountains in Korea, and again, maybe this is like an interesting place to do a little bit of a visualizing drawing exercise, either of just like mountain scenes or listening to the song, which is a mountain song, and seeing what kind of visuals pop up in people's minds.
Can we just hear a little bit of it?
Okay, so I'll sing a little bit of the song by myself first. Again, not 100%. 토라지 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 심신 삼천의 백토라지 한눈풀이만 캐어도 내가 눈이 점점점 다가온다
the pronunciation, and then maybe we can do a little call and response of that melody.
Yeah, so this is a beautiful melody to learn and to sing. Again, let's try the word toraji, which is this mountain root vegetable. So let's say toraji.
Toraji.
And that's the only word you need to know to learn the first line of the song. So I'll do bit by bit. Here we go. Toraji, toraji.
Toraji, Toraji.
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 It's beautiful. Let's try it one more time. Toraji, toraji.
Toraji, Toraji.
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 Yeah, it's really nice.
So it's a little different, right? What we're seeing written out than what we're singing. It's folk music, right? It's like when we,
Sorry about that.
No, but like what we hear is what to go by. I always say that with folk music is like what you're hearing is the truer thing, or what your students are feeling like as they're singing it.
And you realize that the music is here. Do you want to try to sing it all? So then
Yeah,
let's try it. Okay, I'll do it actually how it's written here. So, ready? 1, 2. Toraji, 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 shipshi, samdone, toraji, handu, purima, keono, devakuni, chocho, nanonda. Yeah, it's beautiful. And when we're here in January, I'll have a Korean traditional instrumentalist with me who plays the kaegum, which is a beautiful instrument we'll talk about in a second, but that is like a harp, Korean harp-like instrument, and also will be singing along with us, with me. So there'll be harmonies in the song, which is a very big part of the version of the song that we have.
Did you want to listen to a little piece of that recording?
Yeah, so, I think harmonies, I don't know if you talk to your students about harmonies and what harmonies are, and kind of emotional reactions to different types of harmonies.
I
But-
just want to pause. No, I'm sorry to interrupt you. I'm just curious with kindergarten to second grade, with having a music specialist in the room here. How much can you dig into harmony? Like, how much do you find that you're able to dig into harmony with that age group?
I introduced the concept of it around first and second grade, but I don't really start singing it actively until grade 7.
Yeah, that's great. Giving them this really simple, beautiful harmonies that they're going to hear in this piece. I think that's great. I like them noticing, I hear more than one thing, right? That's a big step in just learning harmony, is even understanding that there's more than one line going on at the same time. So, take that with you. Use it with your older students if they are learning harmony, because it's a pretty simple harmony to just latch into. But I just wanted to make sure, because I'm always curious as to how much we're able to get there with this age group.
Yeah, and I think it's great to introduce the concept and listen to something like this, which is actually 3 harmonies, 3 voices, when the song actually starts up. So just to understand how that sounds and how that feels.
Yeah, and just even see if they can even pick out that there's 3. That's it's pretty high level stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe a second of the harmonies, if you all want to hear. So you'll hear this one. There are harmonies throughout the whole song. So
can you tell us about these instruments?
Yeah, and then quickly, you might have heard a little bit of one of these. Has any of you seen either of these instruments before? Yeah.
I mean, I've seen a guzheng.
Yeah, so guzheng is kind of like a Chinese version, iteration of the kagum. Or koto in Japan would be something similar. So these are like zither harp-like. The kagum is a zither harp-like instrument. Comes in many different forms, many different numbers of strings. I highly recommend diving into the different sounds of the kagum. It can sound really beautiful and harp-like. Oh, there's some. And it can also sound really like bluesy and like, gritty. I think there are some viral videos of kagums playing like Jimi Hendrix solos of like 10 years ago. They could be really bluesy, really beautiful. So it's actually my favorite instrument that has ever existed. And then the one on the left is called a piri, which is a double reed. It's an amazing sound. Really intense, amazing sound. And it's a double reed instrument. It's tiny, but it makes a huge sound. And there's actually a version of it with a big bell called a tepianso, which is meant for big outdoor, like folk court music that's huge and just an unforgettable sound. So I think some of that will be great. And we'll have a kagum player with us in January to show off that instrument.
Awesome. There's never enough time, and I feel like we need to get to the doraji.
Toraji.
What is it? We didn't even talk about what it is.
So toraji, I think one of my favorite things in learning other cultures is food, of course. Food is such a beautiful way to learn about other cultures. And toraji, the song, is about a food. It's not like the tastiest food in the world, but it's a mountain root vegetable. And this is used in a type of Korean food that we call namu. If anyone's been to a Korean restaurant and you sat down at the table and there's lots of little plates filled with little different, mostly vegetables, different types of little vegetables. Kimchi is the most famous type of namu. This is one of those two. Or if you've ever had bibimbap. Bibimbap's a beautiful thing to study in a classroom because it's like a mixture. Bibim just means mixing, and pap is rice. So it's a mixture of lots of different things, and it's a fun game of like, what do you put in your bibimbap? What things would you want to mix together in a bowl of rice? Those are different namus, or little pickled vegetables and side dishes that you would use in Korean food. Toraji is one of those things. So a fun food component to explore.
Yeah, this idea too, like inspiration, right? Like finding things in your own history that like inspired a song, right? Like there's the whole song about this root vegetable. And also just then ways to share about yourself again. So you can share maybe your favorite recipe or, bring that into class. There's an activity to create your own, how you would describe your class as a recipe. So like add a dash of solfege and a lot of love and a cup of singing and you'll get your Battylicious class, right? So it's an idea of like how to explain your class as well. And yes, controlled chaos. Anyone have any quick questions for Elena? It's a lot in there. I always feel so bad being like, we gotta go. Yeah, Rebecca.
I just noticed that my family is from Appalachia too, and I just noticed that song sounds so much like mountain songs from it could have been like one of those bluegrass ballads.
Yeah, and I think that's a little bit how I reinterpret it again. So yeah, it's like.
Is that why? Or?
Yeah, I mean, I think you can find. What's also fun is to find, these songs, other versions of these songs. But it's been done in a super traditional Korean style, which does sound kind of different. But it is a ballad, and I think there are so many links. The ballad, mountain ballad link is not. I didn't have to travel far to make it sound like an Appalachian ballad.
Yes.
Curious, does Santoki, does that get gradually faster? Have you heard interpretations of that? Like, how some songs, like children's songs, you make it faster.
Faster.
Stuff like that.
I mean, the most well-known version of Santoki in the United States is like a ska punk band called the Chinkies, and their version is, like their band name's a little problematic, but their version is actually kind of fun to listen to. So it's a very ska. It's really but I haven't heard one that gets faster and faster, but it could. For sure.
That's that controlled chaos again, right? There it is. Lots of bunnies getting really fast.
Yeah, exactly. Bunny's losing control of that.
Well, thank you so much, Ellen. And last but certainly not least, we have Afro-Venezuelan drumming with Jacob. So another new artist.
Sí, sí. In Venezuela, before some activity, in more in the culture, always sing a sirena. Okay? Let me only 30 seconds.
Yeah.
Viene el día de San Juan, llegaron los tamboreros. Llegaron los tamboreros, paliteros y tamboreros. A bailar con mis tambores San Juan. Los
I don't want you to stop. Hi, welcome. Tell us about yourself and your band that you brought with you.
I know a lot about my culture, but it's not the same with my English. So I bring for you my son. So my name is Jacob. I am from Venezuela. I am a percussionist, and I am very glad to be here. Thank you for this opportunity.
Thank you for being here.
In Venezuela, 25 years, 25 or 26 years ago, I go into all my country to see my culture and to learn about all my drums of my country, all the sing, all the dance. So, in the time, in Venezuela, the sistema take like teacher to teach the little boy or the orchestra symphony. So my passion with my drum, with my culture was for they and teach all the drum for the musician, percussionist, symphony. So that was my experience, but the culture in my country is really, really big, and that is what I represent.
I think let's take it right into the music, I think. So I think if we can hear a little bit of Como Suena, and then we'll talk about it.
Como Suena representa la fuerza del tambor y representa la energía del tambor venezolano.
Como Suena represents the strongness, the effortness, the willingness of the cultural drums. So we always, at a party, we always start with that because we want to really, everyone get into it, everyone have a little feeling into it. So that's why we always start with Como Suena.
So, okay, yeah. I know my English is not very good, but okay. So, ¿cómo suena a little bit?
Yeah, can you introduce all your sons?
Yeah, of course. The little boy, the name is Aiden. Okay? He's the best percussionist with the group we have. Yeah, he's the best. My second, okay, Etienne, Julien. They're born in Detroit. They are American. So from Venezuela, okay, de Mérida, Ethan Giroux, and from Margarita, Venezuela, Isol Moises. And that beautiful woman, okay, she gave me that place of my life. So it's my wife. First Venezuela.
And what is your band called?
Yeah, the band, the name is Tambores Bombaya. My name is Jacob again. But my project with my family is Tambores Bombaya with the Vital family. The Vital is my last name. His last name, so the Vital family with Tambores Bombaya is our project. And that's interesting because we have a beautiful opportunity in Savannah with the Jazz Academy, the Savannah Music Fest. That's wonderful for us poder representar nuestra cultura en esta ciudad.
So we can represent all of our culture in this city.
So, ¿cómo suena? It's really easy. The first part is ¿cómo suena? María, ay María, son los tambores, the drums, de mi bandera, de mi país, Venezuela. Okay, and the choral say, Loloe, María, tú eres buena, dale a tu maraca y oye cómo suena. Loloe, María, tú eres buena, dale a tu maraca y oye cómo suena. Okay, the maraca, this is the maraca, okay? Maraca. So, Loloe, María, tú eres buena, dale a tu maraca y oye cómo suena. Loloe, María, tú eres buena, dale a tu maraca y oye cómo, everybody sing with me. Y oye cómo suena, y oye cómo suena, y oye cómo suena. It's like in English, oye cómo suena, es como, sería como.
In English, it would be like listen to how it sounds. Like so, hear it when oye como suena. Hear it how it sounds. Hear how it sounds. Here.
This is this literal. Oye cómo suena, okay? So everybody sing with me. Oye cómo suena.
Oye cómo suena,
Y oye cómo suena.
y oye cómo suena,
Y oye cómo suena.
y oye cómo suena.
Y Timothy, again.
Oye cómo suena,
Ay, mira, escucha cómo canta.
oye cómo suena,
Ay, mira, escucha cómo toca Elena.
oye cómo suena,
Y cómo toca Elena.
oye cómo suena,
Ay, mira cómo canta Timothy.
oye cómo suena.
Hear the song, the music, the beautiful life. Oye cómo suena, okay? Thank you so much. So we say, ay, mira, escucha los tambores.
Oye cómo suena,
Ay, mira, escucha los tambores.
oye cómo suena,
Y mira, son de Venezuela.
oye cómo suena,
Ay, mira, y oye cómo suena.
oye cómo suena.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
And this song is a decima?
Is?
Decima?
No.
No.
But have a sentence, a specific sentence. So in this song, we can say after the choral, we can say Ay, Lolo, María, tú eres buena, dale a tu maraca y oye cómo suena. The singer, do. Ay, Lolo, María, tú eres buena, ay, dale a tu maraca negra y oye cómo suena. And I can say too. Ay, Lolo, lo trajeron desde África el tambor que yo quería, para que bailen sabroso a la noche y de día. This is the same. So, it's maybe 2 or 3 sentences in the song. After that, we can change the song to the more show. So, Lolo, María, tú eres buena. Dale a tu maraca negra y oye cómo suena. Lolo, in the coro, María, tú eres buena. Dale a tu maraca negra y oye cómo suena. So the second part, the song, I chose, y oye cómo suena, y oye cómo suena, y oye cómo suena. It says the second part. That's it.
So it's a way of inviting the community in
Yeah.
while the lead singer is telling the story or the
Yeah.
happenings,
Yeah.
what's happening
Yeah.
in the community.
Yes.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's used as like a way to bring the community together within that comeback choral part is how we're being invited in.
Yeah.
And also by using, not only, I want to get to these percussion instruments, we got to get there, but also found sounds,
Yeah.
right? So this idea that this music invites everybody in to be a part of it with whatever you have around.
Yeah.
So can you take us over to all these amazing instruments and tell us about them?
Yeah. That's okay. All this instrument is the traditional instrument from Venezuela. Is from originally that instrument is a legacy from our ancestral African, okay? And originally is from Congo, in Africa, okay? The name of this drum is Kumako. Kumako. That's the name. Okay? It's large. Okay? The skin is of vaca?
From cow.
Cow. Okay? That instrument is commercial, but the traditional is from the street of avocado. Okay? A hole for the song, and he said, show how you play the kumako a little bit. Okay. After that, we got the palitero, okay, laures. This is the sound of the laure. Go ahead. All right. So we got another instrument important in that battery is the clarin. Okay. It's the clarin. This is commercial too. You know, the weather, the plane. So the traditional is different because it's skin, wood, but help a lot that instrument. So, and the other is important, the maracas, okay? And guarura is traditional from Venezuela. Okay, the guarura sound, again, is a shell. Look at the shell, okay?
It's a call. Okay? And the maraca. Okay? So, very good. Etienne. Very good. Okay. Now the boy. Alpha Jepe. That instrument is not from Venezuela. But I leave it because he drum every day. Hey, Dad, you take my drum? You take it? Yeah. Your drum is with us, okay? Don't worry. Okay? Go ahead, Etienne. Go ahead. Show how you play your drum. Ah, okay. Okay, a little bit como suena. ¿Ah?
And
Okay.
you'll see as they're getting set up, we have all of these pictures of the instruments in the curriculum, and then this idea that you can just find your own percussion as well. And then the different examples are audio as well are available.
Nice, nice. The palitera, laures, tambor, laures, palitera. Okay. Ethan, palitera. Cumaco, Moise. Clarín, I play the clarín right now. Maraca, Etienne, maraca. That's beautiful. And guarura, okay? Guarura, my wife, okay? So, ¿cómo suena for you? ¿Cómo suena? ¿Cómo suena? María, ay María, son los tambores, de mi bandera, de mi país, Venezuela. Bailo lo ve, María, tú eres buena, dale a tu maracanera y oye cómo suena. Lo ve, María, tú eres buena, dale a tu maracanera y oye cómo suena. Bailo lo ve, María, tú eres buena, dale a tu maracanera y oye cómo suena. Lo ve, María, tú eres buena, dale a tu maracanera y oye cómo Ay, oye cómo suena, dale saborcito, oye cómo suena, dale heladito. Ay, mira, oye cómo suena, y cómo suena de Lorena. Ay, mira, de Timothy, y cómo suena de Venezuela. Ay, mira, oye cómo suena.
Oh, and there's a video to share with your class. Amazing. I think for the sake of time, Jacob, can you tell us about the other drums that you
Yeah.
brought and how they're going to tie into the next song?
Yeah.
Great.
Okay. Let me explain about this drum, important drum for the Saints. It's from Africa, Bantu, but in Venezuela, Barlovento, we got this a special gift for the legacy ancestral. And the name of this drum is Culo de Puya. So it's important to know what this drum have a different name, okay? For example, das drum, the name is Prima. The second, okay, is Cruzado. And the more big in the song is Pujao. This is the name of this drum. Together, along each, for example, along, this is the rhythm. Okay? This is the other rhythm for the second. And I have in this conversation the last rhythm. Okay? For example. Okay? So together, the conversation is there. With that group, we play a song important for us too. So the name is Malembe. And the Malembe, I threw the microphone to myself because he explained with his perfect English what is the Malembe.
So we all know the San Juan, this figure that's right here, that's the statue of the San Juan. So when this festival starts, we bring San Juan to his house. In Barlovento, they bring it with a song called Calypso. But when the festival is done and they're gonna bring him back to the church, they use a rhythm called Malembe, and they bring him back to the church where he can rest and he can do all this perfect important stuff. So yes, we use Malembe to bring someone back to the church, and that's how we end the celebration.
So we're going to talk about really quickly the coro of Malembe. Okay, it's really easy. Ay, Malembe, Malembe, Malembe no más. Okay, we are all right now. Okay. Ay, Malembe, Malembe, Malembe no más. Okay, again. Ay, Malembe, Malembe, Malembe no más. Okay, so, yeah, here. We got in the past a beautiful experience in his school.
He came to our school for Hispanic Heritage Night last year.
Ay, Malembe, Malembe, Malembe no más. Malembe, Malembe, Malembe no más. San Juan, Guaricongo, cabeza pelada. We're going to show you that it's really easy. Le, 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 la, San Juan, Guaricongo, cabeza pelada. San Juan, Guaricongo, cabeza pelada. Hey, this is the dance. This is the dance. It's really easy. Right? 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, Thank you for that. Thank you for that with us. Thank you. So, this is a big celebration. This is a big celebration for Venezuela. San Juan, okay? I really excited to teach to the little kids of the school the rhythm, the dance, and the song. Okay? It's very special for me.
So lots of stuff in there, right? So like even just with the Malembe, like talking about celebrations and festivals and other ways that we celebrate and your students celebrate. Again, always finding ways to bring themselves back into the curriculum and sharing about themselves, having them learn not only the dance step, but this rhythm, which is in the curriculum. That idea of polyrhythm, again, like I don't think you want to say like your kindergartner is like polyrhythm, but they hear that there's a lot they can see and hear that all these different drums coming together and they're playing different layers, right? So you can break those out. And just this idea of everybody is welcome. Find a sound, find a part, sing along, clap along, or just be in the community. So questions for Jacob? Lots of learning tracks are there for you as well in videos. Rebecca.
Can you go back one slide to the rhythm?
It's almost, I feel like it starts on a triplet, not
Yeah.
the quarter
It
note.
starts on the triplet
Yeah,
too.
yeah, it does.
Let me show something. Aiden, is Aiden can do? Wherever can do. Really? Aiden, ¿vamos a tocar malembe? Sí. ¿Puedes enseñarle a ellos cómo se toca malembe? ¿Ok? Dale la tambora y un palo. ¿Está bien? ¿Ok? It's really easy, eh? Look at here. Pum, 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 pum. Ta, 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 ta. ¿Ok? Everybody song? Eh? Malembe, 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 mamá. Malembe, 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 mamá. San Juan de Aricoco, cabeza volá. So that with the same, okay, it's the celebration and that's a good rhythm. Really easy, okay? Really easy for the kids. I mean,
Yeah, I think again, it's like go with what you hear because of the folk nature of it, but yeah. Nice. I feel like I have 8 million questions, but I know we have to move on for time, and I know you've all been in PD like all day long. So I want to make sure that I respect your time as well, but thank you all so much. Thank you all for your time and attention and the love that you give to this program. It's like 10, 11 years strong now or something, right? So it's great, and I hope our newcomers, kind of by experiencing it, get an idea of like what it is, and the concerts will come alive, just like it did, just like organically, but just like we couldn't help but to stand up and start moving and dancing, and that very much is very true and authentic to a Musical Explorer concert. So thank you, thank you, thank you. If you have questions, email Justice and Jenny.
Let's give it up for Shanna. 24 hours of Savannah. We love it. Good job, Shanna. Okay, let's all take a 2-minute bathroom break, please, and be back at 3:10. And try to organize yourself into 3 groups. We can do 1 group there, 1 group in the middle, 1 group here, okay?